So hi and welcome to this new video in which I'm going to show you how to generate a new variable under STATA, and subsequently I'll also show you how, recodify and pair variable and pair quantitative variable into a qualitative variable, and to be able to label it and give it all of the properties that a variable should have for a fairly easy analysis. So we have a database with information on the weight and heights of individuals that have been collected in schools. So we've got the weight and the size. We're going to see some of this information resolve. Solve the different themes that I announced at the beginning of the introduction of this video. And if you are watching one of my videos for the first time, please visit the coalition. And as I told you earlier, we've got there and given on the weight and height of individuals, we're going to show you how to generate the body mass index, which is nothing more than the weight over the height on the square of the height. So how are we going to create our third barrier? We're going to weight our weight and our height high, and so from these two variables, we're going to, isn't that generate r squared to the power of 2. So there you go. So we're going to generate, click enter, and you see that our inca variable was generated. So we can label it in label order entries. Variable be me. So we're going to call it mass index as for her. So from our body mass addition, we're going to generate a qualitative barrier that will have modalities 1 of 3, 4 for example, which are going to give the heap differences of to visit based on body. So we're going, aren't we, first generate a new variable that we're going to replace so that we can have our class of body mass indexes that we're going to do first. Once again generated, the in. So we're going to make replacement. We're going to replace r by my variable 1. So going to be equal to 1 if diff our variable mc is strictly less than or equal to at 18, so less than or equal to 18. So we're going to give it the value. So here's our first one. Most has been done. We're going to once again do more of our by variable. 1, we're going to take the value 2 if it then strictly greater than 18. And so the commercial ENBI strictly at the less than or equal to 25. So our third variable we're going to replace MC1 equal to 3 if by upper strictly at 25 and my less than or equal to 30. And finally, we're going to do a fun again. We're going to assign to our they to by 1 the value 4. If our by me is strictly greater than 30, that's our by me variable 1 ampere generated. We can summarize it by calculating tape Benny. IMCI extracts values 1234 and provides various frequencies, percentages, and cumulative percentages. But the real problem we have at the moment is that we want to assign labels to our different modalities. 1, for example, we're going to assume it's underweight 2. We're going to assume that's the normal situation. On the 3rd, we're going to give it the supportive situation. And on the 4th, we're going to give it the qualifier of obesity. So how are we going to recode our MC variable? 1, we're going to do a record, the record command. We're going to recode our by me variable 1, be me 1. So 1, we're going to assign it the value 1, and as a label, we're going to put underweight. I don't know if it exists, but it's just a textbook case. So what's next? 2 equals 2, 2 is going to stay 2, and we're going to talk about a normal situation. Why is normal say? No normal weight, then 3. On the register 3, and we're going to assign him a situation. Overweight. Suppose so, we're going to call it an overweight situation, and finally we're going to have a final step where we're going to 4. Our modality 4 is going to stay 4, and we're going to attribute it to it. There, we're going to call it obesity, so close, and subsequently we're now going to tell it to generate. I have a hunch, so it's going to generate a new variable that's going to be called, isn't it? Situation, obesity. Obesity situation then. Valent has to generate this new variable which is going to be called obesity situation. And last and finally, our value obesity situation will be, isn't it recoded, label variable, so follow the variable in the variable command. Obesity status. So the paragraph is situation A of obesity, so we just go label it so. We're going to keep the same label, and we can now tabulate our variable obesity situation, and so we can see there that the labels appear under normal weight, under weight, obesity. So if you haven't done it yet, don't hesitate to subscribe and activate the management content so that you don't miss out on my next posts.